Ben Greenfield here, coming at you with part 2 of the Kona course instruction materials from the Rockstar Triathlete Academy. And if you watched part 1, then you know that right now you're sitting right on top of Kailua, Hawaii, and the bay where the Ironman swim is going to take place. We're going to go ahead and zoom down to that bay, and we are there. So, as you learned when you watched the video that walked you through the swim, you're going to be exiting the swim transition right here. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly what the bike course does and how to handle the Kona bike course, because it does have some unique properties that you need to be ready for. So as I mentioned in the swim video, you come out of the water up onto the pier here, and you're going to go get your bike off of this pier, but you will run a full loop. Everyone will end up running an equal distance, full loop of this pier to get their bike, come into the changing tents that are right here and here, exit here right by this clump of trees, and head out onto the course. I would caution you not to focus too much on clipping your shoes in and taking in all of your post-swim fuel right here as you come out of this funnel, because it is very congested. I'll show you later on in this video in just a minute here where to be clipping in and doing all that jazz. But I wouldn't necessarily do it if you can ride with your feet on top of your shoes, because you're going to come out here, you're going to take an immediate left and come right up to the hot corner. And at the hot corner, you're going to turn left, and it's called the hot corner because you pass it multiple times during Ironman Hawaii. But today, as you first start off the bike, you're going to turn left, and then you're going to have a little stretch here down to McCullough Boulevard. That's the time to start taking in some electrolytes, getting some gels, replenishing what you lost during the swim. I'm going to back off here. You're going to ride your bike all the way down this Kuakini Highway down to this road right here, McCullough Boulevard. You'll hang a right on McCullough Boulevard, and we're going to end up doing like a mini circle, like a little tour of part of Kailua Kona, all the way back up to the Queen K Highway right here. But you're not going to turn left and head down the Queen K Highway. You'll eventually get to ride on that highway, don't worry, out on the lava fields. But you're going to turn right and head back into town, all the way back down to Palani. You're going to hang a right on Palani, come bombing down it, and back down to the hot corner where you're going to turn right onto the Kuakini Highway. Okay? At that point, you're going to have a long out and back. So you're going to be riding along this road right here, and this is going to be an upward grade. Your heart rate might still be a little bit high from both the swim and the adrenaline from the bike transition, and so you may need to really dial back your climb up this incline to ensure they aren't at lactate threshold the whole time. So be watching your heart rate or your power as you climb. Now you're going to follow the Kuakini Highway all the way out to where it intersects with the Queen K Highway. And that's going to be right about, just a little bit farther actually. Excuse me. You're going to intersect right about here, okay? At this point, you're going to turn around and head back into town. So now you've got a decline. Okay, you're probably going to have a lot of other cyclists around you unless you came out of the water super early or super late. But basically, you're going to follow the Kuakini Highway all the way back down to the hot corner. So we're going to zoom out here. We're going to go back down to the hot corner. And this time, when you get back down there, you're going to hang a right on Palani Road. Okay, so you're going to hang a right here and have a steep climb up Palani Road. And at that point, once you get up Palani Road to the Queen K, there will be an intersection right here, basically a four-way intersection. You're going to hang a left and head out on the long, lonely Queen K Highway. Now, a few of the things that you need to be aware of as you head out on this highway. Initially, you're not going to experience too much wind other than a little bit of a headwind. But what's going to happen is you're going to get to areas where there'll be these rock outcroppings, like you can kind of see the outline of here. And when you pass in and out of these outcroppings, you're going to hit areas where there's no wind, followed by areas where there's a lot of wind. And as that happens, you're going to find that your bike gets blown around quite a bit. You need to get out there before race day and practice being stable in the aero position as those winds hit you, rather than having to come in and out of the aero positions as you freak out when the wind dies down and then hits you again like a ton of bricks. So now basically you're going to be paralleling the coast, and I'm going to back off here. So the Queen K Highway is going to be that yellow ribbon right there, and basically you're going to follow it all the way along the coast out to where you'll get to a three-way intersection. So you're going to go past the Energy Lab, you can go past the airport, and you're going to follow Queen K. You can see that we're right here along beside the Queen K. You're going to follow it out a little bit past the Waikoloa Village, about 7 miles past Waikoloa Village, okay? So here's Waikoloa Village coming up on our left side, right here, Waikoloa and Waikoloa Village. We're going to keep on going past that, down to about 7 miles past where there is right about a little bit farther here, this three-way intersection. Okay, don't turn right here. You're going to be in for a long trek through the Big Island to the other side of the Big Island if you turn right here. You're going to turn left. So when you're driving this before the race, and I would encourage you to do that, especially watch that heat acclimation video that shows you how to heat acclimate while you're driving inside the Rockstar Triathlete Academy. You're going to turn left here onto 270. And 270 is going to be a descent, and then it's going to be mostly flat, really not too difficult in terms of the actual route itself as you're biking all the way along 270 here, and eventually you're going to get to a point where the road starts to kind of curve up and away from the coast and head up towards Hawi. And that's where you're going to hit a lot of the climbing and a lot of the headwinds and a lot of the rollers that kind of can tend to suck a lot of the lifeblood out of you. But you're going to climb all the way up here to Hawi Town, and you will get your special needs bag up here and then turn around. Now I would warn you, as you're climbing up to Hawi, please make sure that you're hydrating, keeping your electrolytes coming in, keeping your fuel coming in, because when you turn around at Hawi and begin to bomb back down the way that you came on 270, you're going to have some pretty ferocious tailwinds and crosswinds. And if you're trying to eat and drink as those are hitting you, then you're going to put yourself at risk of getting blown off the road. So I wouldn't suggest that you do a lot of fueling. I would overcompensate as you come up into Hawi. And then basically you're going to drop back down 270 and essentially retrace your steps all the way back down to Kailua along the Queen K Highway. And as you ride that long road back into Kailua, remember that you're not in a bicycle race per se. You're in a triathlon, and you're going to be running off the bike. So be sure that you are ready to run off the bike, that you're managing your hydration and your electrolyte intake as you come back into Kailua. So we're going to follow the Queen K Highway back into Kailua, always remembering that we got to run a marathon off that bike. There's the airport. We know we're getting close. We're starting to do a little bit of standing, get those hip flexors stretched out, get ready to run, and then you're going to actually turn left on McCullough Boulevard and take the Kuakini Highway back down into the hot corner, so kind of retracing some of the early steps of the bike ride. So as you can see, it's not really a straight out and back on the Queen K Highway, but there's a few twists and turns that are thrown in. Now, of course, you'll have your race week clinic with me during race week in Kona. We'll be there doing a pre-race walkthrough and answering the last-minute questions. But between now and then, you'll also have full Q&A access to myself and Carrie on the forum to ask your nutrition, your training, your heat acclimation questions as you get ready for the race on the Big Island. And you'll also have access to us, of course, during the live Monday night Q&A calls at the Rockstar Triathlete Academy. So if you have questions, be sure and use the forum in the Q&A to ask us questions. And if you're part of the Qualify for Kona membership, I would highly recommend you be following that build-up that we've got, especially for the taper and the heat acclimation strategies for those last few weeks leading up to Kona, and you're going to find that inside your members area. So, until next time, where we'll be going over the run, this is Ben Greenfield signing out from the Rockstar Triathlete Academy.